hung out. We were trying to put a little group together, and, you know, it was 15-year-old kid. I mean, in Los Angeles is not like New York. The transportation system here doesn't work.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to drive a car. So a lot of guys would be hitchhiking with Les Pauls and orange amplifier. You know, you got to have friends with cars because if you were to buy the gear, you got to find somebody to move it for you because you didn't have enough money left to buy anything else.
Right.
When you paid everybody about $1 an hour back then, you know.
Sure.
Same as we make now, you know.
And what was? How would you describe Dave? What was he like back then?
Well, Dave, we kind of related because, you know, Mike came from an Eastern family, and Dave came from Midwestern, Eastern, you know, he's New York and Indiana. Mm-hmm. Bloomington, I think, is where he was from originally. So.
And you're originally from New York?
Well, I'm from, my family's from Rhode Island, Connecticut.
Oh, Rhode Island, okay.
Yeah, most of my relatives are still out there.
Okay.
We're Italian, so
awesome.
We're prolific, you know what I mean?
That's awesome, yeah.
Hey, what do you want from me?
That's great, that's great. And did you guys ever play in a band together?
Well, we rehearsed a few times, and, you know, honestly, I was playing with this other guitar player, and, you know, I don't think we really knew what the hell we were doing. I mean, we play, you know, Grand Funk Rail and stuff like that, but it just couldn't get it hooked up. So Dave went on to Red Ball Jet, played with Kimura Brothers, and I think Gary Taylor, and some people aren't with us anymore, as a matter of fact.
Sure.
You know.
Did you guys keep in touch over the years?
Oh, yeah. I saw him whenever we became very, very fast friends by the time I was like 16 or 17 because I was out playing in regular groups, and he had a lot of respect for me, I mean, which is saying something. I learned a lot from him about his people, and, you know, we were watching one night, we were watching a band in Gazzari's, you know, and I must have been to 60 or 70 of those performances because I'd go hang out with Ed, just walk in with him, you know, he always wanted to be around. We're actually best friends.
Wow.
So he didn't take to a whole lot of people. And there's a guy up there playing guitar, and he goes, Ed looks at me and goes, you know why this guy's done already? Because he thinks he's already there. You know? I mean, he was smart. They were clever guys. I mean, they worked real hard, I can tell you that. They busted their asses.
Oh, sure.
Let me tell you, to play Gazzari's, you know, we do like 3 weeks and 4 nights, 5 nights a week there, and then rotate out, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Your opener, and you had to work your way up. It was tough.
And what was the band that you were in?
I was in a band called Ready Kilowatt, my own thing, and then we was a quartet, then we busted down to a trio, and I sang it, and kind of like Stray Dog, you know, we were really into Stray Dog, and I've always played originals, so I contend if you're going to play the fucking guitar, come on. Do something different, be original if you can.
That's awesome.
If you can't be original, baffle them with bullshit, you know.
How did you meet Ed?
I met Ed when I was 12. He was in Berry and Grassmere Music Store, and I was in there looking at guitars. I seen this kid on the floor with a gold top, and it was brand new 68 gold top. And I said, wow, he could play, too. I mean, you could tell he had Clapton licks down. I mean, we were still trying to puzzle. We were working on Paul Kossoff. We hadn't worked our way up to Clapton yet. But there was another guy that really was better than all of us. I mean, John Driscoll, he was just, this guy. We ended up going to Stanford Law School. His old man took his guitar and amp away, and he's a corporate lawyer in Indonesia now for some big oil company. But he still stays in touch with me, but he was the best in town. And Ever quickly took the title because, you know, he had Al. Him and Al. Alex was really the leader of that whole deal in the very beginning. I mean, he was the kick in the butt because, you know, it's like a caveman thing. If the biggest guy that could beat anybody else up runs the show.
Right. Now, you said that in Greg Renoff's book, is that Alex was really the band leader because nobody wanted to get in Alex's
he was
way,
older
right?
and bigger, man. Nobody would, you know, Al would he'd play up 4 sets and then go outside, drink some Flitz Malt, and get into a boxing match with whoever was around. I know I've been on the wrong end of that, you know, and I'm more than a fair hand, but he whacked everybody that was there.
Wow.
Now, he had a lot of energy. And then he'd go over to Pioneer Chicken and then go up the 110 freeway, and he'd take, Ed, creep up next to this car. The little secretary drive the car down, pull his pants down and stick his ass out the window. This is typical Van Halen stuff. I mean, they were mischievous.
Good times, good times.
You think about it, those were the days. I mean, the stuff that we did back then, you'd go to jail for it immediately.
Wow.
You know, and it was like regular kid stuff, you know. And just little timid secretaries driving up the freeway ramp, and you could see Ed's following him driving the Opel Kadett. Al's ass is sticking out of the passenger window. They get up about 2 inches away from her window. She just about went off the road. They thought it was the funniest thing in the world, you know what I mean?
That's awesome. And now, did you guys share a lot of bills?
Not that many, you know.
No?
Edward would come and see me, and I came and saw him. My family, I took lessons from George Van Epps, and I studied classical music, so I was maybe a little wider palate than he had.
Okay.
Ed didn't like that many records. He liked Ritchie Blackmore. He liked Eric Clapton. He liked some of the. He wasn't a Hendrix guy or a Trower guy.
Right.
He didn't, he liked Alan Holdsworth. I mean, he definitely opened up his horizons. Alan Holdsworth changed his style a little bit, I think.
Sure. Absolutely.
Because you say who you interpret, then you take that persona on, and then you know how many guys are out here that can play stuff that Edward plays exactly like him, even more accurately, and they have nothing. They're there's only so many Atomic Punks and fucking Van Halens you can have,
Sure. And did Dave have that big personality that he had back then?
He was. You know what it was? These guys, the Van Halens, played backyard parties wearing Pendletons and those Kmart fucking Crotasackers,
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have a lot of money because they were immigrants, and coming from his dad being like one of the most brilliant eye surgeons in the world.
Right.
I mean, to date, was a renowned at what he did. He knew people, because the house that Dave lives in, Dave's old man bought it first, and it was J.P. Doherty's house. I mean, This is like, Doherty was one of the guys on the board with Rockefeller when Roosevelt made him split the world up. Rockefeller was all pissed off, The 7 guys that were sitting at that table got an oil company. This guy Doherty was Texaco.
Wow.
He's one of the early corporate, when the billionaires bought the country from the millionaires.
That's wild. That's wild.
Well, that's interesting stuff. He had the connections, but I don't think it was they had to work, man, because they were, we were at the book signing at Greg's book signing, and I was, we were having a hell of a good time. Saw a lot of people I'd seen in 35 years.
Sure.
Gentleman looked at me and goes, we went and saw him. He goes, at Starwood. He goes, and we heard a guitar player, and that's all we heard. they didn't, and you remember the vocals that way? They were kind of like, almost like the Letterman.
Yeah.
Van Halen had that barbershop quartet thing going. That was their trademark. And that's what they were missing this last time, because, Wolfgang, rest his soul, I mean, he's Everett's son and all that, I understand. But he don't sing like Mike.
Right, no.
Michael was, and that's what, when Mike got into band, Templeman thought there was possibilities, because Ted had a lot to do with it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because everything he touched back then was gold, the Doobie Brothers, all that shit, And this was wild for him, I mean, because Everett was, from one-man show, really. But Dave was good. I mean, I've seen Dave carry whole shows that Ed was exhausted.
Oh, sure.
We got to remember, these guys were sent out 5 or 6 times in a row, 300 days a year. And
right,
I can tell you from doing that a couple of times, that no one comes back alive after the 4th time.
Oh, absolutely. And do you think that Van Halen's magic was because Dave and Ed were such opposites?
Absolutely, because they can't stand each side of each other.
Was it like that back then?
Well, exactly. Yeah, that's really what it's like, because, the funny thing about groups is, I've noticed that I got in bands with a lot of guys I got along with. We never had a problem, and the bands were dull.
Really?
And the only thing in it that was shining was you if you were in the mood,
Yeah.
Then you get in bands that you want to jump over the stage and knock the guy out, and it has that,
Do you think it's that combative personalities?
It's like putting tritoluene with sulfate. You know what I mean? So like, you know what I mean? But a lot of people. I've got a lot of my friends, from the East Coast. Walt Woodward passed away now, but he was a drummer out of Patterson, New Jersey. Really good.
Sure.
Played with Shark Island, and he was a good drummer. With John Corabi, he played. Then the next thing you know, Walt's I'm trying to get Walt into the Dave Roth thing, and Dave gave him some shit. He goes, "Fuck this! I'm not working for this asshole." He fucked out. So some people do that.
Wow.
We, and a friend of mine up in Poughkeepsie, John Reagan, a bass player, wonderful guy. He's been with Ace Frehley and Peter Frampton for years.
Sure.
He was on the record with us, the first record we did.
Wow.
John's another road dog that can, you could get along with anybody, and he's par excellent. The real pros are like that. But the band we put together with Dave, it's like was kind of a hire the guy that can handle the pressure.
Right. Yeah, sure.
94, 95 were bad tour years. I mean, the music business was imploding.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it was a rough time. That was a rough time.
Hey, if I told you how much money Bob owes me, Dave got screwed. I guess we were going to make a lot of money on this, and I made a decent amount. But it didn't work out the way everybody thought. But I wouldn't trade it for the world.
No, of course.
So how did you connect with Dave around 94?
Yeah, I started with Dave in 91. I was playing at a place called the Sunset Bar and Grill. It's up here in my area, which is, the northern San Gabriel Delta up here, right above Los Angeles, about 10 miles.
Okay.
And it's kind of this is where Van Halen came. It was Van Halen country. And, I got to tell you, when they signed, I was happier as shit, because that means they were out of my way.
Oh, really?
I had the town to myself, and it worked out for us, because it worked out for them better. They deserved it, man. They played those places so many times.
Did you keep in touch with them during that time?
Oh, always. They you couldn't get away from them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they come. Well, one time when they came back from 5150 tour, I hadn't seen them in 3 tours. I thought I'd never see them again, and both of them shaved their heads, and they're driving Jeeps on my lawn, doing donuts on my lawn. I thought, Mongols out of my yard doing that. I ran out there, and it was the Van Halen brothers.
Oh, wow.
He goes, hey, we're going to do a record with you. I said, oh, come on. And I recorded at 5150, but unfortunately the record never got released because we never used any master tape. It was recorded under cassette tape. You had done all the dailies, and we were going to go to recording, and then Ed got a little drinking problem, and powder problems.
What year was that?
Oh, that was 1986.
86 is before Sammy was in the band?
Yeah, we used to have a little song, because I know it was the first rap song. I know this guy, and his name is Ed. Sun comes up before he goes to bed. He's nifty, he's thrifty, he's real nifty. Got a little studio called 5150. That was
So you recorded a whole album on cassette at 5150 in 86?
Yeah, Jenny Johnson did too, from Rick Derringer's outfit. It was a gas. I mean, it was the 80s though. I don't remember most of it. The 90s was time I go, okay, sober up, put a suit on. You're 38 years old. Go out and do this thing before it's too late.
Right.
And I was playing it at the Sunset Club, and Dave came in. I hadn't seen him in I don't know how long, probably better part of 10 years. He said, "What?" He goes, "I want you to start working with songs with me." And I thought, Jesus Christ, I finally got a way out of this thing.
Wow.
The last train out of town, pal. I got on it.
So then, how come you weren't on A Little Ain't Enough?
A Little Ain't Enough. No, that's Jason Becker. Unfortunately, God rest that kid. He was a great guitar player.
Yeah.
He got Lou Gehrig's disease, and because of Jason's misfortune is why he had to go looking for another guitarist, and he went and looked at Jeff Beck, a lot of different people, and just thought, I'm not looking for that. He was looking for somebody that could interpret what he wanted to. This is Dave. He goes, I want you to write this kind of song. And he'd jump up on a rock like an Indian looking way off in the distance, and I think, okay, I get it. I got it.
So
we were both had the same influences. Everything that I knew, he knew.
Right.
And and Dave just like this. He goes, none of that fancy shit. Just follow the dots on the guitar. It's like, oh, for Christ's sake. I'm a pretty accomplished technician on the guitar, but he didn't want the Steve Vai type with the super flash stuff. He wanted somebody that had that ability.
Right.
And that's kind of where I was coming from at that time. And I thought, how stupid does that look? A 38-year-old guy wearing fucking spandex, and I was still kind of stuck back in the 80s. So Dave slapped me around a little bit, did the Pygmalion on me, and we all got haircuts, and I thought all we needed is the big fucking clown shoes, because it was kind of a different look. He was trying to be a little. I don't think people understood Filthy that well, and it was a very diverse record.
Yeah, I really love the record. And I think it was.
That thing was built for New Yorkers, is what it was built.
Yeah.
What was the plan for you,
Filthy
Little
Food
Mouth?
You got it. So your worst pizza you can get where you guys are is better than the best stuff we can find in Los Angeles.
That's right. That's the truth.
Ever since I ate New York and lived there for four months at a time, and geez, I would fly in there 3 times a weekend sometimes. He was so fickle.
Wow, that's true.
Really?
That's true.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed going with Steve Hunter. Steve Hunter went with us, and we did a song on one of his tracks because I think I wrote 12 of the songs, and there was 2 other guys that wrote.
Right.
They're
right.
So right. Frank Symes, as a matter of fact, he's working for. He's the musical director of the Who now. So
who's that?
Referee Frank Symes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, Frankie was. We did a song called Cruel Obsession with him. Someday we're going to have to give you guys, if you want, I'll email you or however the fuck we can do it. I'll send you the hidden tracks from Filthy that were never done.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that would be what? That would be awesome.
What are they going to do, sue me?
No.
Fucking things. Dave was very generous with me, man. He really was. I mean, but a lot of times, we went down to this place, near CBS Studios, where he gets his clothes made. He goes, I'm like, my friend, here's a fashion disaster. He takes us in there, and they're measuring me for a suit, and the material was the same stuff that Sinatra used at Madison Square Garden. And I'm saying, what in the blue fuck am I going to do with this?
Oh, my God.
You should have seen these suits. The suits were $2,000 for the material.
Wow!
I had to have it made, and I also was, pretty burly back then. I had dumped 45 pounds in about a week.
Wow!
He said, "Hey, you lose that weight there, And it's like, so he has kind of a phobia that wears shoes a little too small for his feet. It's like, find me a woman in some ways. The tough son of a bitch. You can see that guy's physically pretty scary.
Oh, he's like a monster.
Right. Anyway, go up to a door jam, guys, and get your middle fingers and stick them out on the door jam and lift your whole body weight up on it.
Wow.
Yikes.
That's Dave.
So what was the plan? Did Dave give you any direction when writing the songs for the album?
Yes, he rode me from 5 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the morning most nights of the week.
Wow.
So what was
he
asked?
Once up to June Lake, and he called me and goes, I hope you have your tape deck and your guitar with you.
So it seems like he was branching out.
That's how we get Sunburn.
Oh, that is a great...
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I think the slow songs that you wrote for Dave are really some of the best in terms of Dave's slower songs in the catalog. You really seem to bring out the best.
He captures,
in what he does.
He captures his vibe.
Sunburn is like one of